Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, weekend of football in the books. My goodness, we had some kind of shocking results here across the board. Well, some of them were shocking. James called quite a few of them correctly, so somebody was ahead of me anyway. But look, James, in all seriousness, right? I think I picked Arsenal to beat Everton. I'm pretty sure you did too. But you mentioned some concerns though about the new manager bounce, what Sean Dyche is capable of, that low block, right? And obviously all the jokes come in about James Tarkowski, Dwight McNeil, and Sean Dyche all back together again, playing for Everton. But they were able to shut out Arsenal, and they were able to score from a header, which is a very Sean Dyche way of winning a football game against Arsenal. Now, I know I think you mentioned this in the predictions video, it's a tough place for Arsenal to go a lot of the time, even in the position that they're in. I want to know, I guess, just on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not worried at all, 10 being, ooh, man, this is a bit ropey. Is this a one-off because of Sean Dyche and because of Everton, or did you see anything in the game where you thought, oh man, my confidence level in my team's dropping a bit here?
I'm happy that you didn't interview me straight away because I was annoyed.
I bet you were.
I would have probably had the Arsenal fan TV sort of reaction. I think the fact that I'll be able to calm down and obviously the City result is kind of made me put things into perspective, Jack, and just to realize something right now. What Arsenal have been doing is not normal. Jack, in 20 games, Jack, yeah, we've lost only 2. We've drawn 2 and won 16. If somebody would have came and offered me this at the start of the season, I would have took your body, I would have took you away. That's unreal. The fact of the matter is that Arsenal are facing a juggernaut in Manchester City, and it's almost like one slip and it's done. That's what it feels like. But you've seen in normal title races, Jack, you can lose 4 or 5 games. You can draw 7 games, and that's normal. Just Manchester City, the standards that they've created, it's almost like one slip, even a draw, and we'll be on your ass. And I realize it's totally normal. The standards that we've hit this year to lose a game, it's understandable. Yep. Again, Sean Dyche and everything you want to say about that, Jack. We weren't at the races. We did not deserve to win that game at all. We weren't at the level. And to me, the biggest thing is that manager bounce. I guarantee you this: if Frank Lampard was there, we would be looking at Arsenal 8 points clear.
Comfortable.
Easily. But the big match. The big manager bounce was a big thing. It was a crowd, and also I look at our record recently there, Jack. Last 3 times we've been there, we've lost. It seems to be a ground that we're not that we don't favor in recent times. But another thing that worried me, if I'm going to be honest, Jack, is our striker position. And it might be a mad thing, and I'm not here to criticize Eddie, but I felt like once we kind of ran out of ideas, we just started flashing balls into the box, putting balls into a box for a guy in Eddie Nketiah, who isn't renowned for that. If you're putting the ball into the box, you have Olivier Giroud to attack it. I get it.
Different.
Go for it. Put in a lot of near post crosses. Giroud will attack it, but the fact you're putting the ball in for Eddie has me worried. And then when I look on the bench for a different option to put in that striker position, we bring on Tomiyasu, and I'm thinking, have we missed the trick there? Right. Maybe Gabriel Jesus coming back can be a bit of a difference. But even then, Jack, in these sort of games, Gabriel Jesus probably is a lot better when there's a lot more bodies inside the box. The fact you can give it into his feet and he can just go around players. But Arsenal are going to put crosses into the box, and am I going to back Gabriel Jesus to win headers when you've got 6-foot defenders who want to attack it? No.
Thank you. I was just going to say, so because I remember the Arsenal-Man United game, and he scored that header, and that was off great movement. I think it was Wan-Bissaka or Luke Shaw came in, boom, right? Against Manchester United, fine. Go for it. Go crazy. Against Everton? With Sean Dyche, James Tarkowski, Connor Cody, and Mikalenko, and 34-year-old Seamus Coleman, and the midfielders they've got in there. Best of luck with that, Eddie Nketiah. That was never gonna shake out well.
And Jack, I think the craziest thing, Sean Dyche mentioned is that his first point is to defend the box.
Yeah.
Cross the ball. Do you remember that game against Liverpool where like they won 1-0 and Liverpool broke the record for the amount of crosses made in the game. They made like 50. It was something crazy. Trent went mad with the amount of crosses he has. Yeah. But what Sean Dyche basically says for his team is that we're gonna have our 4 defenders in the width of the 18-yard box. If you want to flash balls into there, cool. We're gonna deal with that. And the fact that we're putting it into there and expecting Eddie to get on the end of them there is a little bit worrying, looking at the size of the player, and that's what kind of makes me a little bit anxious because teams are going to watch that.
I was going to say, is this the blueprint potentially? Maybe not to beat Arsenal, but to get a 0-0 or to get a 1-1, right? Does that worry you at all? But James, I'll be honest, there's nothing groundbreaking here. This has been done for decades now, to a certain extent, of kind of the low block and just getting people back and stop, so this is nothing new. I didn't see any tactical innovation where I went, oh, wow, that was sophisticated. It's the same old stuff, surely. No,
but Jack, we're not talking about here like the Liverpool game where Liverpool are getting battered. We're talking about margins now. This is what Arsenal are like dealing with. This isn't a thing where we're talking about 3-4. We're going to go into games where it's going to be extremely tight. And one lapse of concentration from a corner kick could be the difference between us getting getting them 3 points and and taking nothing from it. So nowadays, I think we need to be a bit more shrewd with the way that we do something. The quality in the final third just needs to be better. Sometime with the way we play, I think at the Emirates it's going to be a lot more comfortable. The crowd, the pitch size, everything like that. Our Emirates form, I'm cool with that. But when we go to certain away teams, and teams are going to know, listen, Arsenal start fast. Can we frustrate them in these first, 25 minutes or so? If we have them in them 25 minutes or so, then can we build in towards the game? We can grow into the game, and whatever happens from there happens from there. But teams are going to have confidence from the fact that they can stop Arsenal early. They have a better chance of making something late, like Everton did.
The final thing I want to ask you about, because I remember this just prior to kickoff, Arsenal's lineup, I believe it's the exact same starting lineup that I think it was like 5 times in a row or maybe even longer, which is the first time that Arsenal have done that since 2008 or something like that. It was a long time since Arsenal have had the same starting 11 for this period of time. Does it worry you at all with the amount of fixtures, blah, 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 same old stuff, that there's going to be a certain level of burnout? Or if the fact that it's the same team all the time, there's no dynamism, there's nothing new, there's no creativity, there's no spark, and that Arsenal will be figured out?
No, burnout only exists, Jack, when you're losing.
Right.
People only talk about this stuff when you're losing. We lost today, so we're going to mention burnout. I don't think that's the case. If I'm a football player and I win, I want to be out again. I want to be out again. I want to be out again till the season ends. And Jack, as we mentioned, we have a lot of young players there. We don't have these old veterans or anything like that. A lot of young players. They're the youngest team in the Premier League, I think, by a good distance. And Jack, to be fair, we're out of the FA Cup. We're out of the League Cup. We only have basically one game a week, and maybe we're gonna have the Europa League come into soon. But even then, we don't even have to play the last 32 game because we qualified for because we finished top of our group. So I don't think it's much of a issue right now. If you want to compete, Jack, you're gonna have to be able to play these certain games. I didn't hear burnout for that Manchester United team when they won them 3 Premier League titles in a row, or even Barcelona. When you're winning, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's like
feels
when
good.
things kind of go bad and you people make them stuff up. So yeah.
Right, look, you're absolutely true. James, obviously we've got a reasonable Spurs fanship as part of our subscriber base. I know you love that. You got anything to say to them about that result against City, or are you gonna?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tottenham. Big up Harry Kane, greatest striker of all time. Get in there, Harry Kane. He's a true gooner. But again, big up Harry Kane. What a striker. Again, still want to see him win. Because to me, you don't want to have all these records. Jack disagrees, but you don't want to have all these records and not have titles to your name. Because at the end of the day, there could be some point where, think about it, as Rooney would tell you, he had that England record and it's gone. And there could be somebody that takes Harry Kane's record soon, and then he'll just get lost in the archives and lost in the shuffle. So he wants to get a few trophies. So you know what to do, Harry.
Jesus Christ.
We'll give him a call in the summer. Harry Kane to Arsenal.
Say, we were doing so well. What happened?
Okay, Harry Kane to Arsenal. He can be second to Eddie Nketiah.
Guys, let us know your thoughts on Everton's victory. Shock victory, really. I mean, obviously new manager bounce, but still a shocking victory over Arsenal. Is this something that Arsenal fans need to be worried about, or is this something kind of just a blip? You've heard James's thoughts. I kind of tend to agree with nearly everything James said there, by the way. But let us know in the comments if you feel differently. Drop a like on the video if you like what you've seen. And if you're not subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you scroll down and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, we'll see you.